Folks, stay with us. We've got a lot more coming up. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all. Stacy Rush here. And you know what? You can find me Mondays at 10 p.m. on WAARadio for my new show, You Know What, with Stacy Rush, where you'll be subjected to my point of view from the right and my occasional rant. So if you're ready for more sound news rather than news by soundbite, join me Mondays at 10 p.m. And make sure you stick around WAARadio, where you can hear a fresh perspective from people just like you. We are America Radio.
On the wall by that old front door, and it got turned on every night, and it gave off a glow so that everyone would know we were home, everything was all right. That old porch light summer long, when the fireflies are gone, and it's time to come in for the night, shining down from above on two kids in love. That old porch light shining on through the darkest night. On the wall by my old front door, and it gets turned on every night. That old porch light shining on through the darkest night, shining on. That old porch light shining on through the darkest night.
Tom O'Halloran, holding the line against tyranny from Washington, D.C.
I am America, one voice, united we stand. I am America, one hope to heal our land. There is still work that must be done. I will not rest until we've won. I am America.
Welcome back. This is the fastest hour in radio. This is the Thursday night edition of the Patriot Radio Show, and I'm your host, Tom O'Halloran. New report came out this week. There was an investigation on two Australians. One of them was actually a transplanted American, and the other was an Asian man. Both men in a relationship. I'm not sure whether they were, quote, married or not. But they went shopping, and they found a young boy that they wanted to adopt. And they raised this young boy to the age of about 3, taking pictures of virtually everything he did. They were the Ozzie and Harriet, if you will. Everybody in the community thought they were wonderful fathers to their son. And yet they were posting pictures of this infant on adult websites, not websites, but the undernet, peer-to-peer networking places where it's hard for the government to track and tell what they were doing. By the time this child was 3 years old, these perverted pieces of crap were flying him around the world, landing in an airport here or an airport there, going to an airport hotel, and handing this child off to other perverts for their sexual pleasure. These two men were treated as rock stars in the perversion world because they moved in and out of airports. They knew how to move around and get the kid through different airports without getting caught. They knew their way around the internet to work out the arrangements and the details. When they were finally arrested, they had found thousands of photographs, records of different men that have been with this young boy. And this is happening thousands and thousands of times every week, somewhere. It turns out the percentage of homosexual pedophiles ranges anywhere from 9% to 40%, which is roughly 4 to 20 times higher than the rate of adult men attracted to other adult men. A study of 377 non-incarcerated, non-incest related pedophiles whose legal situations had been resolved and who were surveyed using an anonymous self-report questionnaire found out that heterosexual pedophiles on average reported abusing 19 children and committing roughly 23 acts, whereas the homosexual pedophiles abused 150 plus children and over 280 acts each. When you hear people tell you that it's okay for gay teachers to teach children, don't buy it. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying that every gay person out there, that every gay man is going to molest children. But when you figure that there is a 20 times higher risk, it gives you pause. Do you want your children spending time with them? A study of 518 sexually tinged mass murderers in the United States between 1966 and 1983. 68% of the victims were killed by homosexuals. Another 44% by, 44% by, yes, 44% by homosexuals. The Clark Institute of Psychiatry in Toronto reviewed two sizable studies and calculated that 34 and 32% of the offenders against children were homosexual. In cases they had personally handled, homosexual attacks accounted for 36% of their 457 pedophiles. And out of the 91 molesters in Canada's Kingston Sexual Behavior Clinic from 78 to 84, 42% engaged in homosexuality. For a group of people that that represent only 1.3% of our population, for these people to have 20 to 40% of the sexual molestations of children is extremely troubling. 1.3% of Americans identify as gay. What percentage of that are males? But even if it's the whole 1%, they're committing 40% of all child molestations. If these people are serving as teachers, as counselors, as coaches to our children, we need to be aware of it. And we need to make sure that they're not alone with our children. Our children count on us to keep them safe. And we typically drop them off at school, expect the teachers and the coaches to handle it, scoutmasters, trusting that somebody's watching them, but they're not. Gay rights activists are all upset. In New Orleans, there's a billboard right alongside a highway. It states that identical twins have the same genes, the same DNA. They are nurtured in equal parental conditions. If homosexuality is caused by genetics or parental conditions, and one twin is gay, the other twin would be gay also. Because identical twins are always genetically identical. Homosexuality cannot be genetically dictated. Therefore, no one is born gay. Well, this has got some of the LGBT queer activists all up in arms. One of them stated, Beth Penelias, the organization that took offense to this, she's a member of, I don't have her organization here, but she says, I'm shocked and really disappointed that at the end of 2014, we have a billboard in the middle of our city that says that kind of hate. I'm sorry. What part of that was hate? This was a factual statement. Identical twins have the same DNA. This is a fact. They're nurtured in equal prenatal conditions. Fact. If homosexuality is in one, it would have to be in the other. So if one twin is gay, the other would have to be gay as well. This is fact. This is science. Which leads us to the next logical step, that it's not genetic. It is a choice. And the gay people that I have talked to, my gay friends, my lesbian friends, have all told me, yes, it's a choice that I make. It's a choice. But these activists want to make it sound like they're born that way. They don't have a choice. They're victims. So we have to bend. We have to put unisex bathrooms in our schools so little boys can pee next to little girls. And in high schools, boys that feel like they should have been a woman get to take a shower next to our daughters. I would remove my kids from school before I allowed that to happen. Folks, it's up to us to stop this. Obviously, the politicians aren't going to do it. Moving on. Oh, the town of Bridgewater, New Jersey rejected request for a mosque to be built in a housing development. The community standards, the zoning ordinances state that all houses of worship shall be built on major roads. All houses of worship. Well, these Muslims weren't pleased because they wanted to build a mosque where they wanted to build a mosque, not where it was going to be allowed. So they got in touch with the Muslim Brotherhood organization CAIR, C-A-I-R, the Council on Islamic American Relations, which Egypt and the United Arab Emirates have both declared to be a terrorist organization. And CAIR reached out to Eric Holder. The Department of Justice, or the Department of Jihad, is now the law firm representing CAIR. The DOJ sued this town and declared a win for $7.5 million